Welcome to the Real Film Nerds Podcast.
Welcome back, Nerderinos, to your regularly scheduled podcast, The Real Film Nerds. My name is Matt, one of the hosts. The other one is Mysterious Mike Talent, who is wearing a shirt with a green flash on it. Mike, how are you doing today?
Matt, I'm doing wonderful. Thanks for asking. Green Flash was a IPA brewery out of San Diego that is no more. But anyway, you know me and IPAs.
Yeah, it's all you drink. If you could have it hooked up to your house, that's all you would have hooked up to your house. But your child and wife probably wouldn't like, turning on the faucet or taking a shower in IPA. It just wouldn't work.
I know. I think it might make you bitter.
Is that what it is? Because I'm bitter enough. See, you know how they always have that gag about, remember it was in Snatch, specifically in Snatch.
Oh, yeah, about the coffee. He said, would you like any sugar? And he said, I'm sweet enough or whatever. Yeah. It's the same thing. Like, you're already bitter, so you can't have a bitter beer, right?
Yeah, I'm bitter enough, Mike. Exactly. And yeah, it wasn't
Perfect.
Coffee, remember. It was the Brits, so it was tea. Not coffee. You're getting it mixed up.
You're right. Some sort of brewed drink.
All right, Mike. Well, and not a beer brew, a something else brew. But okay, Mike, I want to get on with the podcast, so I'm going to get some business out of the way. So, Mike, did you know that we got an email from a star in our last movie?
Yes, man. I heard we screwed up some things, didn't we?
I don't know why you say we, because it was all me. I guess you left her out too. So for those of you who have listened to our last pod or watched our film, not our film, but watched the film Nomadland, the character who is not a character, she is a real life person. Her name is Swankie. Wrote into us and said, why did you leave my name out of your podcast? So here, I'm going to read her whole email, and it's pretty fun. And we had a nice little conversation back and forth, and she sent me some pictures of her and Frances McDormand and everything. It was really sweet. And Swankie, thank you in advance for writing out and reaching out to us. And again, I apologize deeply for leaving your name out. My excuse, and it's not a very good excuse, is I honestly thought you were an actress. I didn't think you were a normal person, and I thought Swankie was not your real name, so I tried to look it up in IMDb's, and I couldn't find it. Mike couldn't find it either. Then she sent me her link to her IMDb page, and there it is. Anyways, Mike, here you go. Here's the email from Swankie, now listener of the Real Film Nerds podcast. I hope. Fingers crossed. So here she says, why did you leave my name out of your review? I am one of the main three nomads, but you only name Bob Wells and Linda May. You do mention me in the podcast, but not once in your write-up, or I would share. Why? I'm in IMDb. Swankie is real and is alive, and I was not scripted. Thanks, Swankie the Happy Nomad. And my van, in my words, is not way fancy. And then she sent a picture of Bob Wells helping her install a vent on her fan a few years before even Nomad started recording. So,
Matt, that's really awesome. Thanks, Swankie, for reaching out to us. And sorry about that. It won't happen again.
I hope not. And when you're in another film, make sure and let us know, because we will review that one too. But being a nomad, I don't know, maybe they'll do a documentary or something. That would be kind of neat.
That would be neat. It's a totally different way of living, and it was an interesting glimpse into that world. And I know there's so much more behind that.
Yeah, there's a lot more than just a film. I think a nice, good, solid documentary would be fun. Or not fun, but informative. How's that?
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Alrighty, kids, on with the show with this week's review. It is the sequel that nobody asked for, coming numeral to America. Mike, for Real Film Nerds episode number 211. I think that's right.
That is right, Matt. Good job, dude.
I didn't even have to look it up. Woo! All right, Mike, go ahead. Give us the rundown for Coming to America, the 2021 sequel.
All right, like you said, this is Coming numeral 2 to America, which is confusing because there's the other one, Coming to America, T.O. But anyway, so this movie was directed by Craig Brewer, is written by Eddie Murphy, Barry Blaustein, David Sheffield, Justin Cano, Kenny Burris, and this movie is starring Eddie Murphy, Arsenio Hall, Sherry Headley, Jermaine Fowler, Leslie Jones, Tracy Morgan, Kiki Lane, and of course, Wesley Snipes, James Earl Jones. And this is about the African monarch Akeem learns he has a long-lost son in the United States and must return to America to meet this unexpected heir and build a relationship with his son.
Mike, did you miss anyone that was on the cast?
I'm sure I missed somebody. There's so many people in the cast.
I'm just asking because that was a whole lot of names. I'm spinning. I'm a little dizzy.
I'm sure I missed a couple people, but those are the main. Just about everybody from the original movie was in this one as well, which was awesome.
Except for the man that is literally in every single movie. Our boy, Sam Jack.
Okay, well, Matt, I don't know. Was he in this movie? Wasn't he in this movie? They do show a clip of him from the original movie. Is that still count? I don't know.
I don't know if it counts, Mike. I'm not sure. If I was to say that a movie had a clip from the Marvel Cinematic Universe in it, but you couldn't find anyone in the film related to the Marvel Cinematic Universe, would it still count?
I think so, because isn't there a Thor that has some Natalie Portman like scenes where she actually was like B-roll from the first Thor?
No. You're close though. It was Avengers.
Which one was it?
I don't remember if it was Infinity War or if it was Endgame, but one of the two phase-ending Avenger films, the big boys, they pulled unused scenes, I guess, from Thor: The Dark World and the original Thor that had Natalie Portman in it because I don't know if she refused to sign on to do it or what. Clearly not anymore because she's coming back and she's reprising her role as the female Thor, which is going to be awesome. That was one of the coolest storylines ever in the comic book. Yeah, that was in one of those, and they actually took some stuff that was not unused scenes, but they also used scenes just from the movie, and they just cut them out and threw her in there. And anyways, yeah, that's where that is.
All right, Matt. So I don't know, I guess is the answer.
I'm just asking a hypothetical.
I feel like you're right. It's probably kind of like not really being in it, but I'll tell you what, it was very impressive to see all those other people in the movie again. And I'm just going to go ahead and talk about it a little bit, Matt.
I just thought it would have been hilarious if he just randomly showed up and robbed the McDowells over in Africa just randomly. That would have been just hilarious.
The Zamunda McDowells, right. He just shows up.
Yeah, he just shows up and robs it. But instead of like, see, this is why they should just hire me. Instead of like being there with like a handgun or a shotgun, I think he had a shotgun in the original. He could have like an RPG. Like it would just like really have it over the top.
Yeah. I mean, really represent Africa.
You said it, Mike, not me.
All right. Well, before I get myself into too much trouble, Matt, so, like you said earlier, this is the sequel that no one asked for. I was worried that they were going to destroy that, and this is going to be another one of our childhood movies, or not childhood, but like growing up movies that was going to get destroyed. And I'm happy to report that I didn't think it was terrible. There are some things in it that weren't quite flowing very well, but overall, I actually enjoyed it. So that's kind of my 2 cents real quick off of it. Matt, what did you think of this movie?
I thought it was okay. I couldn't tell what it wanted to be, if it wanted to be a sequel or if it wanted to be a reboot, because there's elements of both in this film. I had fun. I enjoyed it. They lost me in a few parts because, let's just get down to brass tacks, I wanted to see Eddie Murphy and Arsenio Hall and Wesley Snipes. And it feels like the second storyline that comes in with the king, formerly the prince, son coming to America is the main storyline. And those characters clearly take precedence over everyone else. And I feel that it lost my interest at that point. It was still there, but it wasn't like the other films.
I mean, you're right. There's kind of a conflicting, like, which story is the main story, and I guess the main story is his newly found bastard son, I guess,
as they refer to him in the movie. Right.
Yes. Well, I mean, fatherless child, pretty much.
Yeah.
And that was literally what happened. So, Matt, I'm going to ask you a technical thing. How did you think they did the de-aging part with Eddie Murphy's character? Mostly just Eddie Murphy's character. I guess Arsenio Hall a little bit, but mostly Eddie Murphy's character.
Oh, dude, they called up Martin Scorsese and said, "Hey, dog, can you help us out?"
I don't know. I thought it was pretty good overall.
Yeah.
I mean, there was a little bit of things that I was like, didn't quite look right, but I mean, it's not a very long scene, and I thought it was interesting that they brought in kind of old scenes from the original movie to help, build the story for this movie.
No, it helped a lot, and those scenes were hilarious.
Yes, they were. Matt, did you catch, without getting too much into spoiler zone, did you catch at the end a certain couple that shows up?
A certain couple that shows up at the end.
All right. We'll talk about it in the spoilers,
no.
Matt. We'll talk about it in the spoilers, Matt. But
okay.
Anyway.
Okay. All right.
I like this movie quite a bit, but man, I do have to say there was a little weird, like, storyline plot thing. I don't know how you want to say it, harbinger or whatever, the witch doctor, the predictor, I don't know.
It was someone's aunt, I think. I think it was his aunt.
Yeah, but like, whatever that character was, I was like, is that necessary? That was kind of weird to me, that part of the story with having this person who kind of tells you what's supposed to happen, and then they like, oh, and then it kind of like moves the story along. I don't know. It was weird to me.
It was just because Arsenio Hall wanted to do another character.
You think?
Oh, yeah. Why not?
Man, dude, that was so much makeup and stuff. Man.
Yeah, it was. Well, all of them, when they were doing their different characters, is a ton of makeup. And that's one part that's hilarious. The barbershop is one of the best scenes from the original, and it was probably some of the best scenes in this one. They didn't even really age like the guys. Like, the one guy is not a makeup person. He's like a normal dude. Like the dude that's sitting down playing chess with the white Eddie Murphy.
Yeah.
He's like
Yeah.
a normal dude. He's just a normal actor. And he aged a lot, obviously. It's been a while. But all the other guys look the same as they did in the first movie because of the makeup. It's just hilarious.
Yeah, you're right, Matt. They didn't age at all. They look exactly the same because, well, it was just makeup.
Yeah, exactly. And so I love those parts, but you know who stole the show for me? There were two. There were Dose. The two that stole the show for me was Leslie Jones. She was hilarious.
Yes. Okay. And I'm waiting. I'm going to see if this is the same person I'm thinking.
Wesley Snipes.
Wesley Snipes' character was a lot of fun, and it was good to see him back kind of in the movies, really, besides The Expendables. I haven't seen him in too much since, his heyday, which for us, Matt, I think is the Blade series.
Oh, love Blade.
And I mean, there were several movies.
We need to do that. We need to do Blade. We need to
The first one or all of them? Just do a
at
Blade
least-
series.
We could do an entire series, but at least the first one, because the first one, I mean, it really kicked off kind of the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Even though it was, the first film technically in the MCU is Hulk. Is it no Iron Man? I think.
Our
might
current
be Hulk.
MCU, I think it's Iron Man.
Isn't the original Iron Man? Anyways,
it's
yeah.
not the Hulk that Ang Lee made,
No.
which is weird.
No, it's the Hulk with
I think-
Edward Norton is the one that's in the MCU.
Yes,
but
yeah.
I didn't remember which one was first. Anyways, I still think Blade. If Blade did not do what it did, and everybody loved Blade so much, that we would not have gotten the MCU as it is today.
So you think that really helped bring along the MCU? But Matt, with that, what do you think about the Punisher from the '80s? That was like kind of
It was okay.
Marvel.
Are you talking about the Dolph Lundgren run?
Yeah, I mean, I like that movie. I don't know.
Yeah, but
maybe
it
just
didn't-
because we watched it when we were young. But
It didn't have the provenance and the money making that the Blade series had. I mean, they made three or four Blade movies, at least three.
they made 3 for sure.
Yeah, I can't think of any past 3. But they made a lot of money, and they showed that a really odd comic book character can make money at the box office. And if you go back and you look at all the other, Marvel stuff, like there was a Captain America film before, there was an Avengers film before, there was a Hulk had a TV show, Lou Ferrigno, that was great. But it never had the kind of box office power that Blade did when it came out.
Okay, all right, yep. So, Wesley Snipes helped introduce us into the new modern comic book movie, and I mean, the Blade series was good, especially the first one. There's some weird story stuff that happens in the next couple, but at least we still had the Blade character, which we liked, and Wesley Snipes was awesome in it.
Well, and Ryan Reynolds credits, he hates to admit it, but he credits the work that he did in Blade 3 with helping him prepare for Deadpool, because he was able, Blade 3, he did an action movie and he was kind of a jerk and he was kind of an ass like Deadpool in the Blade 3 movie. And it kind of pushed him to, pursue Marvel movies more and do Deadpool.
Oh, wow. Yeah, that's cool. I always forget he was in 3.
Yeah, because he never really wanted to be much of an action star, and he had so much fun doing Blade 3, he kind of started doing it. So, anyways, we're way, way, way off topic, but...
We are way off topic. Let's get it back.
Anyways, Wesley Snipes in this movie, just hilarious. I love that he's this badass general that talks goofy as heck and dances and just is hilarious. And I love that's another really big shining moment for me in this film is the dance choreography was just incredible. It was really good. They had a really good dance choreography in the first one.
There was a lot of good dance choreography. I don't think I thought about that for the first one, but yeah, for this one there was a lot of really good dance choreography. So yeah, Matt, I agree. That I don't think I put that together.
All right, Mike, so we are over 20 minutes in. I think it's about time that you ask me my favorite question, or shall I say your favorite question, Lord of the IPAs.
Yes, Matt, it is time. So what are you drinking this fine episode, Matt?
Well, Mike, you know how I always fear about Four Peaks Brewery going under? No, I don't. I think they're going to be around forever. At least I hope they are. But I'm helping line their pockets again in honor of spring training finally going. I didn't get any tickets. I just haven't had any time, and they're all sold out anyways. But I'm drinking the Diamondbacks beer from Four Peaks Brewing Company called Rattle On Red Ale.
Nice, Matt. Very nice.
What flavor of IPA today for you, sir?
All right, Matt. So you're right. It's another IPA. This time, it is a from New Belgium, the people that make Fat Tire, which is one of the kind of introductory beers that helped me on my path to
Becoming
try
an alcoholic?
IPA. No. To try an IPA.
Oh,
yes.
okay.
Yes.
Okay. All right.
Right.
Sorry. You don't go to meetings. I apologize.
Right. So this one is called Wild Ride, and it's a 30th anniversary amber IPA from New Belgium. So
Wow, an amber IPA. Fancy.
yes.
All right, Mike. So since we have not talked about the Marvel Cinematic Universe and its impact on society enough yet, I think we should talk about it again. Mike, how does coming numeral to America relate to the Marvel Cinematic Universe?
Well, Matt, excellent question. And this time it's Kristen Sherwin. She worked as the art director for this movie and worked in the art department for Spider-Man Homecoming.
Very nice, Michael. Very nice.
Thank you, Matt.
Okay, so now we're in the spoiler territory. So go ahead. What couple are you talking about? This has been just killing me here. Is Luke and Leia
All right,
in there?
Matt. No. So Matt, you remember how they had the double date with the twins in the first movie?
Yes.
At the end when they're dancing, there's like two twins. That's them.
Oh. Well, didn't they pop out in... I thought they made another appearance in there, too. The
I don't
twins.
Think so. I think it was right at kind of the end there with the celebrating and stuff.
Oh, okay. I don't know. I don't remember. Well, nice job, Mike. Very good. Very good.
Yeah. No. So I watched this movie with my significant other, Maggie. And
That's Maniacal Mags, for those of you who do not know.
Yeah. Yes.
She rides
And,
motorcycles and Mike rides bitch.
Yes, I do. Yep. And man, aren't you supposed to get the shirt? The bitch fell off.
It's not Christmas yet, Mike. It's coming up to your birthday, though, and I'm having a hard time figuring out what to get you something. Maybe I'll just send her that shirt for your birthday.
Okay, that'll be fine. So Maggie thought this movie was pretty good as well for a sequel that no one really asked for. It was entertaining, and I think that's good enough. Would I say it's a 100% great movie? No, but it was fun. It was fun overall. There's some stuff in it that's maybe but overall, I think it was a lot of fun. So I was pleasantly surprised, Matt. I thought they were going to ruin another thing in our life. Like, it seems like they just keep coming out with all these sequels for stuff that no one asked for. And they just, I don't know what they're doing.
So, Mike, did you watch the original before you watched the sequel?
I would love to say yes, but I did not have a chance to do that. Did you, Matt?
No. And that's one of the things I was going to ask you, if you think people should watch the original before watching the sequel, because I know my answer to that. I think people should if they have the time, because I remembered a lot of it, but it's been a few years since I watched Coming to America in its entirety. When it's on TV, much like, I don't know how much TV you watch anymore, Mike. I know you don't watch much, but when I have TV going, if there's a movie on, doesn't matter if I've seen it 100,000 times, I'll put on a movie before I put on just about anything else. And so I'll catch snippets here and there just as background noise and whatever. But I haven't watched Coming to America, the original from 1988 in its entirety in years. And I think that probably would have helped me a lot if I would have at least seen it in the last couple months before I watched the sequel.
Yeah, man, I agree. I think it would be good to watch this movie before. I mean, this movie can stand alone. It has clips and stuff, so if someone's watching this and not seen the first movie, they could totally watch this and understand all the main points. But I feel like you're missing some of the original stuff, and some of the stuff might be a little weird, like the barbershop when they go there and they're all familiar with them, and you're like, who, what? There's just certain elements of the movie that I think would be lost on the new audience members. So I would suggest to watch it prior to watching this. But for me, I remember I was trying to be like, I know there's a McDonald's kind of clone. What was it called? And then I was like, oh yeah, McDowell's. And then of course it's very featured in this movie. So it was fine. But I was just like, what was that called? I know that I was trying to remember that. So, but this was, it was still fun for me. So I liked it.
Well, all right, Mike. So it was fun for you. How many reels does fun translate into, Mike?
All right, Matt. This might be a little crazy. Going a little crazy here. I'm gonna give this one 4 out of 5 reels because I just it was
shit.
fun,
dude. I seriously think we're changing roles. I am becoming the bitter old man,
dude. And you're not even drinking the IPAs, man.
No, I can't imagine if I was. I'd probably give it a half a reel.
Yeah, the bitterness of the hops would make you a bitter person.
Wow, Mike, being a father has changed you.
Yeah, I guess so.
All right, Mike. Well, I only give it 2.5 reels. I mean, I thought it was good and I thought it was fun. I enjoyed it, but I didn't think it was anything special.
Wow. Definitely different roles, man. That's okay. That's why we rate things, and we don't consult people. There's no behind the scenes on this. We do not talk about what our ratings are before we do the pod. So neither one of us know. Like, we'll say whether it's like good or not or anything, but like we don't know the actual rating.
No, Mike doesn't talk to me at all outside of the podcast. This is the only place we talk. That's why we banter and rage about all kinds of crazy fun things.
Yes, and that's 100% true. We're both two busy people living very important adult lives.
I would not go that far. My life is not important at all, but it is busy. That is for sure. Okay, Michael. So I think you need to do it because I have no freaking clue. You told me what it is, but Mike, please enlighten our listeners on your movie pick for next week.
All right, Matt. So I'm picking Amy Poehler's latest movie that she is directing, and that is called Moxie. It is on Netflix right now. Her last movie that she directed was a movie called Wine Country, which was also on Netflix. And it chronicles a teenager going through some things, and I think it's going to be a fun movie. It's kind of about bullying in the modern day. So, in the high school environment.
It's about bullying, but it's not the film Bully, right?
Is there a film called Bully?
Yeah, didn't you ever watch it? I never watched it. It, had all that controversy around it because it was like, supposedly a documentary shot, and, they took like bus footage and all kinds of stuff, and it was how cruel kids were to each other at like this one school.
Oh, no. But, I mean, I could see that being a thing. But, no, this one is, as far as I know, a fictional story about two characters, but it looks like an interesting movie about the bullying. Amy Poehler's character is like a former like punk like rocker girl who's grown up and has a kid now, and so that's kind of fun. So
now it makes more sense why you chose this movie.
So what were you thinking, man?
Because you're a punk rocker, Mike. And that's how you're going to be with your young child when he is going through life. You're going to be the punk rock dad. They're going to come home and you're going to have, some Ramones going or something.
Oh, you know it, man. You know it. Some Black Flag, Ramones, just all the time. Like just a constant that's got to be streaming in the background.
That's probably how you put him to sleep now. You put on, little Black Flag while you got like what the hell are those things that spin over the bed?
I know what you're talking about.
Not Ferris wheel.
No.
It's too big.
I was going to think diorama. That's not right.
No.
What do we got?
I'm
here?
allowed to not know.
Mobile.
Yeah, there you go. I was going to say I'm allowed to not know because I'm not a breeder. But you're the breeder. You should know these things.
Dude, there's so many. I've learned so much about things, Matt. You don't even want to know. Like
I don't. You're right. So mobile, you'll have like a mobile of like guitars and like chain leather wallets and like Rancid and like Mohawks and Black Flag and yeah.
Oh yeah, yeah. Of course, man. Of course. Some Green Day.
Yeah.
You know, I already have to deal with enough Dookie, so I feel like they go hand in hand.
And it's green too. Like your shirt.
Yes. But did you see what I did there, man? I was Green Day Dookie, their album.
Oh yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah. No, I know where you're going. Mike. Yeah. You steered that boat right.
All right. Yeah. I mean, odds are, Matt, you know how you don't like what your parents listen to. So, you know, my son's going to end up growing up and liking like pop.
Oh yeah, dude. I can see him being a big fan of Tay-Tay.
What is Tay-Tay, dude? I don't even know.
Taylor Swift? You don't know who Tay-Tay is? How dare you?
Oh, I thought it was T-Swift. Is she changed? She's Tay-Tay now?
No, she's always been Tay-Tay.
All right.
Tay-Tay, T-Swift, Lady Gaga.
Yeah. Well, man, it's kind of a rough gig to walk Lady Gaga's dogs.
I've heard. You're terrible, Mike.
You brought it up, Matt. You brought it up.
I just said Lady Gaga because she's a popular singer. That's all.
Right.
You're the one that brought up the dog thing.
I didn't mean to. Anyway, I guess we've strayed too far again. Matt, should I wrap this up?
Hey, you do you, Mike. You do you.
All right. Well, thanks for listening, everybody. And make sure to catch us on the socials, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, at Real Film Nerds, Mike or Matt. And I think it's been a while, Matt, but do we need some shitty selfie Saturdays, or what do we got going on?
You pick whatever day of the week you want to have shitty selfies come in. I think 24/7 is fine.
I think that's fine as well. So anyway,
especially if it's from someone like Francis McDermott dropping a deuce in a bucket in a van.
Oh, jeez. I don't... Sure, yeah, especially.
That's a shitty selfie.
Yes, it is. That is 100%. Anyway, thanks for listening, everybody. We appreciate it, and catch us on our next pod, where we're going to talk about Moxie.
Thank you for listening to The Real Film Nerds. Now, don't forget to follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at Real Film Nerds. Now, go out and catch a movie.